Hi Kevin, I hope all is well. This is Professor Megan Bunnell. I received your question about the quadratic equation and completing the square. So I thought it would be best just to send you a quick video on how to solve this problem. So your problem is x squared plus 10x plus 4 equals 0. And we want to solve this by completing the square. The first step in completing the square is to isolate the x squared and the x terms. So we want to leave x squared plus 10x on the left side, and we're going to move the 4 to the right side. So we'll subtract 4 on both sides, and that gives us x squared plus 10x, and that equals a negative 4. Now we want to find the value that is going to go in that circle there. To do that, you take the middle term and you take the coefficient in front of the x, which is a 10, divide by 2, and then square that. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, and then 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, is 25. So that means I'm going to take that value and add it to both sides of my equation. So now we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals negative 4 plus 25, which is 21. Now we want to factor the left side, and this is a perfect square, so we're going to factor it as a perfect square, and to do that you take the square root of the first term, which is an x, you keep the middle sign, which is a plus, and then you take the square root of the last term, and the square root of 25 is 5. So you put that in parentheses, and then we'll put a exponent of 2, and that equals 21. Now we're going to solve for x. To do that, I want to get rid of the exponent of 2, so I take the square root of both sides. Now when taking the square root of a whole number, we need to write that plus minus sign next to the square root. When I take the square root of the left side, that just gives me the x plus 5. So x plus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of 21. Now to get the x by itself, I need to subtract 5 from both sides. So I have x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 21. And this is your answer. Notice that the whole number, the negative 5, comes first. Then we have the plus minus sign, and then the number with the square root. To type this into my math lab, you're going to write negative 5 plus the square root of 21, comma, negative 5 minus the square root of 21. Now the square root symbol is in the My Math Lab toolbox that appears when you click on the answer box in My Math Lab. And to get your cursor out of that square root bar, you just push the right facing arrow on your keyboard, and that will move the cursor out of the square root bar. So you can use your arrows on your keyboard to kind of control where your cursor is, so you're not typing the negative 5 underneath the square root bar with the 21. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions.